You are listening to the Ranger Football Podcast on iTunes, Google Play, and Spreaker.com.
Good Thursday afternoon, Ranger football fans, and welcome to the very first ever Ranger Football Podcast. We are live on Spreaker.com, and you can also find us on Facebook, iTunes, Google Play, and very, very soon, iHeartRadio.com. If you're on Facebook, get up in your search bar, and you can type in Ranger Football Podcast. Now, if you type that in your search bar, you're going to come to our page. You go ahead and like it. We've got a little contest going on there. We've got a pretty big giveaway going on. If you go ahead and like the page, like the status, and then share it with all your friends. We're going to go through all those here in just a few weeks. In fact, we're going to do the giveaway on the very first home opener of the Youth League season, the Youth League football season. Now, I'm pretty excited about this. This idea has been in the making probably for a couple of years. And it's been tossed around, hey, let's get on the internet, let's get on Facebook, let's get as many places as we can, let's take Roland football to new heights. And that's exactly what we're going to do. I hate that it took so long, but we're finally on track. We're on board. We've got a lot of channels, like I mentioned, Facebook, iTunes, Google Play, iHeartRadio. We even have a YouTube channel. So there's going to be a lot of places where you can find the Ranger Football Podcast. So this is a pretty special deal. It is kind of a test run, but at the same time, not really a test run, because this is something that's going to stay in place for the long haul. So we're going to be talking about, I'm trying to get some more information on the junior high football, 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. But the two powerhouses we have on board right now are going to be Roland High School football and Roland Youth League football. And I've got news and information on both of those. I've got news and actually the schedule. If anybody has not seen the schedule for the high school football team for this season, it is out. And we will talk about the games coming up. I know there's been a lot of people who have messaged the page, and they have asked, hey, when is the first game? Are we at home or are we away? What are we doing? So we're going to talk about a scrimmage. We'll talk about the first couple of games. We'll go all the way down the list. I'll let you guys know all the good details about that. Now, the Ranger Football Podcast is sponsored by Mantees Casual Wear, focused on the adolescent male of all generations, and by Mayrays for casual wear with a more feminine touch. Custom orders are welcome. You can follow either lines on Facebook or simply go to man-tees.com. Use the promo code RANGERS for 20% off your orders. We're also sponsored by the Center Street Parlor, located at 1731 West Center Street in Greenwood, Arkansas. They're open Tuesday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to whenever they finish. For more information or to schedule an appointment for your next tattoo, call Fernie or Isaac at 479-252-6274. Those are our sponsors. Now, let's go on ahead and jump into the bread and butter of this. The first thing I want to talk about is Roland Youth League football. Now, the last season was a huge success. I know we had a lot of people show up to the games. We had a great fundraiser. Anthony DeWitt is the league director for Roland Youth League football, and he donated an unprecedented amount of money to the high school football organization, to the Booster Club. And I'm pretty sure that the goal has gone up for this season. I don't quite know exactly what it is, so I don't want to give any numbers. But I know it's going to be a number that no one has hit before, especially a youth league organization. So it's going to be something to keep an eye on. We're going to have updates on the Roland Youth League football page on Facebook, so stay tuned to that. Also on the Ranger Podcast page on Facebook as well. Keep your eyes on that one as well. So the first thing I've got here from the Roland Youth League football page is an update posted by Anthony DeWitt, the Youth League director, once again. He says, hey, guys, our first sign-up is going to be Saturday, August 5th from 2 to 7 p.m. at the Waylon Jones Center in Roland. I think everybody knows where that is. If you're coming down Roland Road one way or the other, you turn in toward the school, and as soon as you wind around there, it's going to be on your left-hand side. It's right by the pool. So you, for those of you who have been around a lot longer, it's where the old corral used to be. Now, the cost is going to be $50 per player, and as always, the Youth League will provide the helmet, the shoulder pads, and the game jerseys. Okay, so you don't have to go out, parents, you don't have to go out and buy all that stuff. You don't have to buy helmets. You don't have to buy shoulder pads. You don't have to buy game jerseys. You do want to get pants. That's something that everything will be discussed at the sign-ups. Anthony DeWitt will have all the information that anyone could possibly imagine needing for Youth League football. So get your questions ready. Write them down. Saturday, August 5th, 2 to 7 p.m. The cost is $50 to sign your players up. Now, physicals will be required. This is one thing that they want to get out to the masses. Physicals will be required for every player and cheerleader who will be participating, and they must be dated August 1st or later. So today is Thursday, July 27th. So we still have a few days before August 1st. So a lot of you are going to listen to this podcast today as soon as it comes out. A lot of you are going to listen in the next few days. If you're listening, when you listen, after August 1st, make sure you get these physicals done. Make sure they're dated August 1st or later, and bring the copy to the sign-up on August 5th, on Saturday, from 2 to 7 p.m. at the Waylon Jones Center in Roland. We're going to keep hitting on that. That way nobody forgets. And if you need to write it down, go ahead and do that. I'm sure I'll talk about it a couple more times. Now, not only are the parents going to need the physicals, you're also going to need the child's birth certificate. Okay? So, physicals dated August 1st or later, plus your child's birth certificate, or however many children you have that you're signing up for football and or cheerleading at the same time. Go ahead and get all that information, physicals, birth certificate, everything ready to go, and take them to the sign-ups. Now, if you have any questions, you can contact Roland Youth League's football director, Anthony DeWitt, at 479-459-0849. Or, if you have cheer questions, contact Tanya Price at 479-430-6224. I know one thing, this is going to be a very, very exciting season for Roland Youth League football. Things really seemed to take off last year, and Anthony DeWitt has done a pretty exceptional job with that program. And more and more people are starting to pay attention. More and more people are starting to show up. The fundraisers are getting bigger every year, and it's just turning out to be great. It's a lot better than elementary football used to be, 80s, 90s. Back in the day, we just kind of showed up, you played, you went home. Now it's more interactive. There's more people involved. There's more things to do. There's more ways to get on board. And like I said, it all goes to help a great cause. Not only the kids, but there's a lot of stuff that goes to help the high school football team, who we always want to support. And on that note, here are the answers to some of the questions. I've got the schedule sitting right in front of me. What we have is August 18th. Now, for those of you who know, let's back up a few days. For those of you who know when school starts, make sure you're there. If you don't know what day school starts, it is going to be August 10th. Okay? So for all you players out there, don't sleep in on that day. Write that date down, August 10th. If you don't know the date, we've got these marquees up down by CV's now. It used to be Marvin's. It was Marvin's forever. We've got one also down there by the Slab at the old McKinney's location. Shout out to the Slab. they've got a great thing they're putting on down there. They've gotten all moved in. The meat selection is wonderful. They've got groceries like crazy. You wouldn't believe it. So go check out the Slab if you're running by there. But if you happen to see the marquee, you're probably going to see the start date for school, August 10th. So the first thing we've got is August 18th, Lincoln Christian. There is going to be a scrimmage at home at 6 p.m. So that's the first thing, the first little item on our football schedule. August 18th, Lincoln Christian. There is a scrimmage at home, 6 p.m. You do not want to miss that. It's going to be fun. I know a guy who's going to have the music going. So there will be a festive environment. So bring everybody out, show up, and get a little preview of Ranger football before we actually get the game started for the season. Now, the only sad note to this is the first two real games of the season are away. August 25th, we go to Shakota. That game starts at 7:30 p.m. Plenty of time to get out there after school ends on that day. August 25th, going to Shakota. If you don't know where Shakota is, you get on I-40, just keep trucking till you see the sign. There's no turns. You just get on I-40 and go. Westbound, of course. You don't want to run into Arkansas and go eastbound. So head on out west to Shakota. August 25th, an away game, 7:30 p.m. September 1st, an excellent test of the season. Spyro, away, 7 p.m. That's going to be a great game always. Spyro is one of those teams that the Rangers have gone back in time with, and just been some great games, some historic games. Now, September 8th, Tahlequah Sequoia. That is our first home game. September 8th, the Roland Rangers. If you're writing this down, I'm going to slow her down just a hair for you. Tahlequah Sequoia, home game, 7 p.m. on September 8th. Now, our next game, September 15th, we are going to Keys. Keys. Write that down. September 15th, we're headed to Keys. That is an away game, and that will be at 7 p.m. You fast forward 7 days from them, September 22nd, everybody gets a day off. That is a bye week. That's our first bye of the season. September 22nd is a bye. Go ahead 7 days from then, September 29th, Stigler, away. Another away game. I know what everybody's thinking. We're going to be traveling a whole lot of miles. That's true. That's true. So we've got the scrimmage at home. That's the first thing on the agenda. Then we've got September 8th. We've got a home game, Tahlequah Sequoia. And we're on the road for 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Yeah. So September 29th, Stigler, away, 7 p.m. Now we'll jump ahead to October 6th. Heavener, that is a home game at 7 p.m. So we've got us another home game scheduled. Not too many of those this season. But we'll have a little advantage over Heavener when they come to town on October 6th, 7 p.m. That is when we play. October 12th, that is our second bye of the season. So now we're moving on into October. This is right around the time the second 9 weeks is going to start for the school year. I know if you're a teacher listening to this, you're thinking, let's not even jump to the second 9 weeks. We got to make it through the first one. I know how that is. Trust me. But when it comes time for October 12th, we've got another bye week. And then we've got a big road test. October 20th. We are cruising down to Idabel, Oklahoma. That is, everybody knows where that is. That's one of those drives that nobody wants to make. It's always great when Idabel comes to town, but it is quite a drive there and back. That game starts at 7 p.m. in Idabel on October 20th. Now, the last two games of the season are special. Of course, we've got the Muldrow Bulldogs, our longtime rival. And I was going to talk about some of the games from last season, but we're not going to focus on that. I think, if you're a Ranger football fan, we didn't do so well last season, and that's okay. Sometimes we hit those rebuilding seasons, and that's fine. Everybody goes through a restructure. When you lose a certain amount of players and you start bringing some up from the bottom, and as far as sophomores go, the coaches are going to do like they always do. They'll do an excellent job getting these boys in shape, getting them ready to play. October 27th is the Muldrow game. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that is band night. I don't have that written down on this schedule. But let me go in and look real quick. Mr. McKinney with the Roland Quarterback Club sent me a message earlier and sent me the football schedule that had these things written down on them. And I'm not looking at the one he sent me. But let me go into my Telefonico here for those of you who hablo Espanol. Here we go. 2017 Ranger football. Yes, band night. That's going to be for the high school band. They will crown a band queen and king. October 27th, that is the Muldrow game. That is at home, 7 p.m. Now, everybody's favorite and also a heartbreaker, it is senior night, the last game of the season. But the Rangers, we do have a benefit this year of playing at home for the last football game of the year. Senior night, November 3rd. Man, we're already moving into November. That will be the Eufaula game. That's when the Chieftains come to town, November 3rd. That game will be at home, 7 p.m., and that is senior night. So, if you're like me, you're looking forward to football season. We've only got a few days left. I know this is the part that everybody doesn't like. Summertime is winding down. We've got to say goodbye to our Wii Pods and whatever the kids are playing with. I know they're taking their fidget spinners to school with them these days, so I don't think they really have to say goodbye to stuff like that for the summer. But, certain activities are winding down. Baseball is kind of closing if you're still playing a couple of games. I know there's some state tournaments going on, some Little League World Series. There's some things like that are happening right now. But this is the part that everybody kind of dreads. But also, some people look forward to it because I know a lot of kids are ready to see their friends again. They're ready to get back to school. They're ready to move up a grade. That's always exciting. It was for me when I was a kid. I used to love moving up. Some of them are going to be hitting a new building, whether it's the upper elementary or the junior high or the high school. So it's just an exciting time for everybody. So that's what our football schedule looks like. We might as well go ahead and get pumped up for it. And as I mentioned before, August 10th is the very first day of school. We know teachers report before then. I think August 7th through the 9th is when teachers go back. For all you teachers listening, I know you're excited about that. So, that is the football schedule. Now, that's about all the news that we've got. As this show develops, as the weeks go by, we're going to have more information. So, the goal of this podcast is to talk about the kids. We're going to make sure that we get as much information packed in as we possibly can, whether it's, the high school football team or the youth league football, the second, first and second grade, third and fourth grade, fifth and sixth grade. We've got 3 teams there. And so we're going to talk as much as we can about the players on the teams. We're going to highlight the great plays that go down week by week, the players involved. We'll go through the rosters. We'll introduce the players. Sometimes we'll do a player spotlight. And, so your football player may be coming home with a little form to fill out, a little background. Say, hey, my name is so-and-so, and here's what I like to do, and I'm from, Roland or wherever they're from. So, it'll be exciting. It's just a way to get the kids out there a little bit, get their names out there, and get everybody familiar with who's playing football for them. So, we may even get some interviews with some of the players. You never know. Now, as far as the youth league football goes, the first and second grade, I don't have phone numbers yet. I do for the league director, Anthony DeWitt. I mentioned that earlier. I'll mention it again here in just a second. I don't have all the phone numbers just yet. I know Marcus Dawes is going to be our first and second grade coach again this year. And if you know anything about last year's team, Marcus Dawes took the first and second grade last year, just did a phenomenal job. It took a bunch of kids that had never played a lick of football in their lives, and they ended up going to the big state tournament at the end of the season. So, I mean, totally unexpected, but he did a great job with them. He does a great job working with the kids and just, putting the basics out there, stances, positions. There's not a whole lot of play running. Sometimes they'll assemble a play, and that's good. They need that type of structure. But he just does a great job getting the fundamentals and the basics out there. So if you have a child playing first or second grade football, their coach will be Marcus Dawes. Now, the third and fourth grade coach, we had a little mix-up, a little shake-up in the third and fourth grade. Wayman Potts will be the third and fourth grade coach for this season. I do not have information on Coach Potts, but we'll get some phone numbers out there. That way, if anybody has any questions, especially after sign-ups, after we go through sign-ups and you know that your child, they've been paid for, they've got their jerseys and their helmets and their shoulder pads, and you go out and get all the rest of the stuff, mouthpiece and pants and all that. We'll put the rest of the information out there. That way you can get a hold of the coaches. Now, the 5th and 6th grade will be coached again this year by Rocky Price and Anthony DeWitt. They also did a fantastic job with the 5th and 6th grade last year. And so it's going to be exciting to see how this all turns out with the Youth League. And just to hit that information again here, the Youth League is going to have their very first sign-up on Saturday, August 5th from 2 to 7 p.m. at the Waylon Jones Center in Roland. Okay? So, again, the cost is $50 per player. So, parents, take your $50 or times that by however many kids you have playing. Or, whether you've got cheerleaders signing up, make sure you've got their physicals dated August 1st or later. Also, bring their birth certificates. Have to have both of those things. So please write that down in your details. You got to have their physical dated August 1st or later, plus their birth certificate. And if you have any questions, call the league director at 479-459-0849. His name is Anthony DeWitt. Or if you have cheer questions, call Tanya Price at 479-430-6224. So, we're going to keep it short and sweet. I know my producer is giving me the thumbs up through the window here. So I believe we've hit just about all the information we need to hit. I do want to talk about my sponsors once again. Mantees Casual Wear and Mayrays. That's also casual wear with a more feminine touch. Custom orders are welcome. You can follow either lines on Facebook or simply go to man-tees.com. Use the promo code RANGERS for 20% off your order. Also, for those of us who love to get tattoos, we love to get ink done, the Center Street Parlor, located at 1731 West Center Street in Greenwood, Arkansas. They're open Tuesday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to whenever they finish. For more information or to schedule an appointment for your next tattoo, call Fernie or Isaac at 479-252-6274. So, that's the information we've got this time around. I want to thank everybody for listening. If you didn't catch the info beforehand, we are going to have this posted all over Facebook each week. We'll have more information as the weeks come out. We're only about 25 minutes into this episode of the Ranger Football Podcast, but as the weeks go by, the episodes get longer, the information grows and grows and grows. We're going to have a lot more to present, so make sure you stay tuned. And August 10th, first day of school. Don't dread it. It's coming up. Write it down. Get a smile on your face about it. And until we have more information, we will see you next week on the Ranger Football Podcast.
You are listening to the Ranger Football Podcast on iTunes, Google Play, and Spreaker.com.